everybody. Welcome back to another market outlook. We are happy Father's Day to all the fathers in Nigeria doing good things. You are greatly appreciated. So welcome back to another market outlook for the week. Today is Sunday, June 21st, and yes, without further ado, let's dive into the charts. So we'll just be going through some of the major dollar pairs, and then possibly XAU, USD, and BTC. Okay, so yeah, let's ride on. So we'll start with USD JPY. Okay, let's just do a top-down analysis. Very quick one. A very quick one. All right. Going to the 1 week. Okay. All right. So looking at it, you see that USD JPY is on a massive uptrend. It has just been buying and buying. So we expect it to keep buying. It has gotten to a good level here. It has taken out this liquidity high, but we expect it that after a higher high, higher low, higher low, that is supposed to give us a higher high. So we expect USD JPY to keep rallying up, right? So we go to the daily time frame. Looking at the charts, what is really obtainable here? All right, if you look at it, has come to a liquidity high, which can also push price lower, but we know that price is buying ultimately. But if you look at the bigger picture, we expect price to come and take out this liquidity low, tap into this other block, and give us a push to the upside. So that's if you look at it holistically. But yeah, it might be a fast stretch. Price may not do that, but yeah, it's still an option. Okay, it's still an option. Judging from the manner price used to reach this place, it was quite sluggish, and it gave a lot of lower highs, lower lows. So I'll not be shocked if USD JPY dumps and takes out this low, then continues higher. I'll not be shocked. So yeah, I think that's just the bias for USD JPY. So we know that USD JPY is buying, so we'll just be looking for buys to the upside. Okay, so we'll just go to XAU USD. Let me do this full screen. Okay, yeah, okay. So looking at XAU, last week I had a bias. I wanted price to come and take out this liquidity high, but it seems that was a fast stretch too. Then what price did, I also had this other block here as an option, but what price did was that it just came, it took out this liquidity high and kept sending down lower. So if you go to the 4 hour, you see it very well. Go to the 4 hour, you see it very well. So after it took out this liquidity high here, it gave a rejection, right? A fake out, then it came, took out the high, went out again. So in the last market outlook, I showed us this place, this key level here, that price will come in and tap here and keep sending down lower, and yeah, that's what happened exactly. So if you look at it, price came to this key level and just kept selling. So anybody that entered from here or from here would have made a lot of money. So yeah, that's just as I expect XAU to keep going down lower. I expect it to come to this low, at least this low for now. This low will be our draw on liquidity. So we'll just be targeting that low. We'll be looking for lower time frame opportunities on gold. So there's one I have marked out currently. So it's this other block here. This liquidity high as inducement, then possibly will sell from there. So yeah, that's for gold. moving on to the next. Oh jeez. Okay. That's my escape not working now. Okay, so moving on to GBP USD. Okay, moving on to GBP USD. So let me just clear all these things. Okay, so going to the weekly time frame. Sorry, 1 week. Yeah, so same thing as we analyzed last week, right? G is selling and we expect it to get to this liquidity low. I expect it to get it to this one too. So what we'll just be looking out for is more sales, more sales, more sales. Okay, so let's just go to the weekly, the daily time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. So what we'll now look out for is probable points of interest, right? We'll look at probable points of interest. So we know that looking at this, looking at price movement, we know that this is the last sell, buy to sell. So looking at it now, we know that price is going to drop from this region, and if you take your Fibonacci tool and draw it from top to bottom, you see that price has not retraced to this 50%, right? And this 50%, this is the discount level and this is the premium level. So once price gets to that premium level, that is the higher probability trade. Okay, so trying to sell in this discount level is way too much of a risk. Okay, so that's why we have to wait to this premium level. And if you look, this buy to sell is in the premium level. So what other confluence now do we check for before we look for a sell? Right, you look for liquidity. Now in this daily time frame, it's very clear and you won't see much liquidity here, but if you go to the 4-hour, you see what I'm saying. So after FOMC dropped, right, it just gave a short buy and kept selling the next day. So what do we expect price to do now? Price would buy, right? We expect price to buy and fill up these inefficiencies, right? This gap that the news made, we want price to come and fill it up, right? And now we are now, if you want to find a buy to the upside, you can, right? Since we know where price is going now, right? We know that price move from different points of liquidity, right? It's liquidity that fuels the market. So we know that price moves from one point of liquidity to the other. Now if you look, where is the liquidity we are chasing? It is to the upside, right? So we should now be looking for opportunities to that liquidity point. Then when it gets to this liquidity point too, we can now look for opportunities to this other liquidity point. So that's just the whole ideology of the market, right? We are chasing liquidity. Okay, yes. So so why did I now look for this trade? Remember I told us something about when there is a bearish movement to the upside and then there is now a strong bullish movement to the upside that engulfs that first movement. So let's paint this black. Let's paint this black and let's paint this red. Yeah, this color. So I remember I told us that if price is coming back to this area, that this area is a strong order block, especially when it is formed on the higher time frame. If you see an engulfing candle like this on the higher time frame and there is a sharp sell to the downside and a sharp momentum to the upside too, that order block is a high probability entry point. making us look for this buy now, right? That's what is even giving me extra confirmation that this buy might hold. Okay, so price has been selling even from FOMC, and it dropped over how many pips? Dropped over how many pips? Dropped over almost 200 and something pips, right? And we know that price, we are chasing this liquidity now. We have to look for buying opportunities to that side. Now we talked about this formation, right? We saw this sharp bearish candle, right? And then this massive bullish candle to the upside, indicating that price is about to buy, right? And as I said, anytime there's this formation on the higher time frame, it is a high probability order block, right? It has a lot of orders, right? Yes. So now if you go to the lower time frame, the 2 hour, you see why I took it. So I expected price to come to this point and just shoot upwards, but he didn't do that last week. He kept ranging, so I marked this place as the liquidity low. I marked it as liquidity low, and yes, this line here now is my entry point. Okay, yes. So yeah, that's what I expect GE to do. So after this high has been taken out now, that's when I'll start looking for more sales to this low, and yeah, so we can continue the extreme bearish movement that GE has been giving for months now. So yeah, moving on to Euro USD. Euro USD is basically the same thing. So yeah, it has been selling and it's still selling. So what we want is either it comes here, either it comes to this point and drops, or it takes out this high here, and we start looking for sales, or maybe it comes to this other block, whatever. So we just wait for price to give us confirmation. Yes, so yeah, this is the high and this is what we are chasing. So we look at this, and this is where price is coming to for now. So after price comes here, we will now look for sales. Okay, yes, so that's what we want to do on Euro USD. So is there any other pair? Yeah, GBP JPY. What's GBP JPY doing? Okay, so let's look at it from the weekly time frame. So it's the same as USD JPY. It has just been buying and buying and buying and buying. So keep looking for buys. Although FOMC pushed it lower, let's go back to the 4 hour. Let's go back to the 4 hour. FOMC pushed it lower, so I think what it wanted to do was to take out this low here. What it wanted to do was to take out this low here, right? And it took out this low, and it's now buying to the upside. Okay, so now we'll just be looking for entry points to push GBP JPY higher. So yeah, that's just basically it. So yeah, this is just the market analysis for the coming week, right? We are in the 21st of June. Today is Sunday. So yeah, this is what I feel will happen next week, or this is what I'm analyzing that will happen next week. So yeah, let's just see what happens in the week, right? Let's just see what happens in the week. I will do a midweek analysis, vetting whatever we analyze during the week, and yeah, hopefully what we analyze plays out, and yeah, we make a lot of money. So yeah, we'll see on Wednesday for the next market outlook. Bye for now.